In a holy land, in a holy land, in a holy land, in a holy land. All the way down the pass and say, la 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 la. In a holy land, in a holy land, in a holy land, in a holy land.
Whoa, okay, we are live. Sorry guys for delay today, but Eric made us a dinner. I posted on Instagram. He made us tacos and he wanted us to have like a family time together. So I postponed it for 30 minutes because, you know, the little guy goes first, always. Okay, so hello, hi Christiana, hi David. So yeah, today it's hello Moika. Today my topic will be shit happens, because shit happens to everyone, and some of us are more. We have some predispositions for shit to happen to us, and I'm one of those people. And actually, you know, we're doing banters for the whole year. And last year I posted video and I told you that we'll have a really important talk, important conversation for me. And I totally planned it completely different, but again, shit happens. So first of all, cheers. So I will go in that particular topic in depth a little bit later, because I get a lot of messages and feedback, and I don't post your messages on banters, and if I use somebody's comment or message, I don't say usually who said that, because yeah, a lot of you share a lot of private shit with me, and I think that you share it with me because I share stuff with you, and I'm not the person who share it with for you with the whole world. I often use those conversations that we have to run a topic with our little community here. And I always say that the community is important to me, and I know it's important to all of us. But just before the whole pandemic happened, and I mean a little bit earlier, I started to change my life, basically. I told you about it a couple times, and the reason that that change happened, somebody changed it for me. Somebody had a great influence on me and changed my life. And she will join me on some point, and we will have that conversation in depth, and I will tell you exactly how it happened. But basically, thanks to that person, everything changed for me forever, because I was sure that I'm just the person that universe hates, and shit happens to me all the time. No matter how hard I try, stuff just don't go well. And I was convinced that somehow I'm just really, really fucked up, and I'm not able to cope with the stuff like other people. Why not? Because probably it's entirely my fault, and it's not true. Not completely true. I mean, yeah, I own my shit, and I will be the first one to tell you that I fucked up, and I'm pretty honest about that. every time I fuck up, I will admit that, yes, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I will try to change stuff, but it's not always easy to change things. So around 2 years ago, right now, I get to know that I have ADHD, and it's quite severe. And I know that right now, when I look at myself, it's like, how you could not know that. And I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I grew up in Poland. I did checkups because I always had a huge problem. I struggled a lot with a lot of things, a lot of simple things. I can do a lot of complicated shit, but I couldn't do simple stuff. And it was really, really hard. And I tried to get to know if something is wrong with me. But it was Poland, 90s. So the diagnosis weren't so precise like right now. We didn't have that extended psychological knowledge, so nobody even assumed that it might be the case, because I had a lot of symptoms, but you know, I'm not banging my head on the wall all the time doing and that's how you would imagine somebody with ADHD. And it's completely different. I mean, inside of my head, I'm actually banging my head around all the time and I'm screaming all the time, but it's not like that in the real life. So with that diagnosis, I was ashamed for a really long time. I thought that admitting that I have a mental issue will compromise me. I don't like to have a weak spots. I don't like to expose my soft side of myself to other people. I will look at the chat in 1 second. It will just distract me. And yeah. So wait, what I was saying? Hello, squirrel moment. So yeah, it makes life quite hard. I don't like to show the soft spots. I don't like when people know that I have soft spots. I usually plan ahead and I assume the worst possible outcome to prepare myself for everything that might go wrong. And I just cope with stuff. I basically run with the punches, and that's how I was doing stuff all the time. But my condition, because I don't know how to better describe it than condition, have a lot of pros and cons. At the beginning, I thought that it's just a weakness. It's just my con, my biggest flaw, my disadvantage. And as much as that's true, because I cannot do a lot of basic stuff, and some really simple stuff are just bigger than I, and I cannot do a lot of things. I'm physically, basically, incapable to do a lot of things that for you are obvious, but it's also superpower. And I'm learning how to use my condition to my advantage. But it also goes with really weird thing that basically I cannot completely trust my judgment because I'm hothead, like real hothead. I have an idea and I will run with it without thinking it through, without looking at the other side. And I know that we all have those spontaneous moments, but it's not spontaneous, and it's not always good for me. And since forever, I had hard time to make friends because there are days when I'm really completely full HD. And it's so hard for people to cope with that because it's really hard. If you are not all over the place, then it's really hard to even have a conversation with a person like me. So I was used to the fact that it's hard for me to make friends. So for a really long time, every time when I made a friend, I did treasure it, and I would do absolutely anything for the person who likes me. And that's good and bad, because I still stand for I will do absolutely everything for my friends, but I'm taking more time to really be sure that somebody is my friend. Because if you hurt my friends, then you have me to deal with, and I'm really unpredictable, and I would do a lot for people that I like. That's why that community that we have here, that safe spot, those and by community I mean creators and you guys on the chat, because last year really I met so many people that helped me judge situation. They helped me gain perspective, and a lot of you, I know that you really care for me, and if you will say that I should think something through again, it's not because you're jealous or you want something bad for me to happen. You really want the best for me, and that's how it works. Also with my best friend. My best friend is except Beth is Marta, and she was always honest with me. You know, she's the kind of person who will, even if I fucked up and even if it's my fault, and you know, we are jumping out of the plane and it's my fault, she will stand there, she will hold my hand and she will be like, it's entirely your fault. I'm here for you, but it's your fuck up. You put us here. And why I'm talking about it, because lately I had a really cool conversation with a completely new person that I never met before, that brought up some unpleasant memories, because you know I'm quite I have a quite big baggage and I'm in the crafty community for a long time, and I made so many mistakes, and I had to apologize a lot of people after I report some stuff, because my friends have strong influence on me, and they influence my opinions and my actions towards other people, and I really have to pick them carefully. That's why I'm really grateful for honest people who will tell me, no, bitch, that's fucked up. That's your fault. You have to go and apologize. And I'm really happy that I don't have yes men in my close circle of friends, because that's the worst thing that you can do in life. Surrender yourself with yes people, with those people who will always tell you like, oh yes, it's not your fault, even when it's obviously your fault. And they will be like, no, it's not your fault. Oh, poor you. Yes, I feel for you. Because most of those people will turn them back on you and they will talk shit behind your back. And I can't cope with dishonesty, because you know, if I don't like somebody, I can tell them straight in the face that I don't like them. And I'm pretty sure that any of my current friends from close circle, they would not talk shit behind my back. I mean, maybe they will say something about me when I don't hear it, but it will be nothing that they would not tell me up in my face, because I fuck up a lot and shit happens to me constantly. And, you know, I don't need a pittiness then. I just need somebody who will be like, yeah, you got it, bitch. It's fucked up, but you can manage with that. And that's what that community is for me. It's really support system, because I know that I could go through my life completely alone, because I did for so many years, but it's not fun, it's not pleasant, and it doesn't spark joy. And right now I do feel joy, even when the days are fucked up, when stuff do not go well. I have a whole group of people that I can call and I can just say like, it's this kind of day, everything goes wrong and I don't know how to cope with stuff. I just can't. And they will just talk with me for a second about some kind of bullshit. They will make a fun joke or we will just have a laugh. And I can rant to them freely because they know that sometimes I have those, I'm just upset about something and I just have to let it out and then it will be fine. And yeah. So after the conversation with completely new person that could relate in so many levels to that, to the fact that sometimes you just need to vent and you need the safe zone to vent because like even my husband, I love him to pieces and he's my everything, but sometimes, oh my god, guys, okay, he's also a freak. He also have ADHD, so sometimes we we will be polar opposites and he will piss me off and I need to tell somebody that, oh my god, you would not believe what this dickhead did today. And in that moment I'm upset, I'm angry, I really like don't I will be really angry and really vent about it. But 5 minutes later, it's fine, it will pass because that's how I am. The things just excites me, upsets me for short period of time and then it's fine, it's like nothing happened because I already passed that. I already have like completely new thing. It can be like, oh my god, look at this second moment and after that it's fine. But I need to vent and I would not like person that I will share, my upset thoughts in that one moment. She ran to my husband and tell him like, "Oh my God, you will not believe what that bitch said about you," because I don't think like that normally. I think like that only in that one moment when I'm not fully myself. I am, but I'm not. I'm not. It's the part of me that I'm trying to hack because I'm really working on brain hacking right now, and I'm convincing myself about stuff. And I discovered that surrounding myself with positive people have positive influence in my life, like physically positive influence. And by positive people, I don't mean people who never have any problems. I mean, people who are up for doing cool stuff together, for supporting each other. And part of that support will be that sometimes you have an unpleasant issue to share with your friends. And you might call it whining, you might call it complaining, but we all have to complain time to time. But people that I removed from my life, I removed them completely, including blocking on Facebook and blocking their numbers in my phone, were people who are negative. We all know those people. Those are people who always have a reason to complain, always. Even, if they sit with the coconut drink on the beach, it's a sunny day and a beautiful view, and they will be like, oh my god, it's so hot, I have sweat in my ass. They will always find a reason to complain, and they will always have a problem with someone. I don't know how to describe it in the other way, but there is a ton of people like that. They are toxic people, basically toxic people, because they will always find a reason to complain with every person, even the best person on the world, the most genuine person. They will find something that they complain about. And those people often run with the false narratives to paint themselves in a much better light, and it might be so deceiving. And I'm pretty sure that we are all adults here, and you all, at least once in your life, came across the person who was like that. And I feel a little bit ashamed that I got tricked more than once by people like that, because they seem really fine, but then it turns that they're not. And because I always struggled with the relationships with other people, I got fooled every time by somebody who pretended to be my friend and they weren't. And it took me like basically half of my lifetime to understand that your friends are not the people who are, nice to you time to time, who will compliment you time to time. Your real friends are the ones that will tell you that you look like shit when you look like shit. They will tell you that you look like shit before you will leave your house and show your face for work. They will tell you that your artwork look like shit before you will post it. And they are the ones that will tell you like, I think you're doing the wrong thing. I think it's a mistake. I think you should rethink the stuff. And I think that we all need a lot of honest people around us. And our industry often goes to extreme. It's either people are too honest and too harsh, or maybe their honesty came across as being a bitch. And there is a huge difference between being honest or just serving unwanted critical opinion, especially towards the art, because as an artist, we are always very fragile and very that your artwork will be your weak spot. So sometimes, we are very, very sensitive about it. So yeah, I think that we all should be a little bit more honest and kind, because you can be honest and kind. You can, even if you have the not so nice comment, you might consider telling that person the negative part on the private chat, maybe not on the public forum. Like if you think that somebody did a good job, but they could improve their artwork, because it's something completely different than not liking something because it's not your taste. It's about if you see that something is good but it could be better, you can often just message someone and tell them that as the private message. You don't have to put it out there for everyone to see that he said that. Because there is a difference between being cruel and being honest as well. Yes, so anyway, shit happens to us all the time. To me, this week is the week that a lot of shit happened, good and bad shit. But today was quite a good day. Though my parcel was delayed and a lot of things went south, but still I consider it to be a good day, because I finally got enough of the courage to come to internet and share my biggest weakness with everyone. So I consider that being a good day. Okay, I will check the chat, because it's like 30 minutes and it's just me basically pouring the mashup of the thoughts. Oh, hi Anna. Oh my gosh, we have incredibly lot of people today on the chat, more than usual. Hello. Okay. Scrolling. Hello, everyone. Oh yeah, Christiana is very correct. You know, I made that mistake a couple times in my past, that I shared something that I thought that it will be helpful or harmless, because for me, when I put my artwork out there is no option that somebody will put a comment that will say something that will hurt my feelings. Because if you can see something that I put out there, that means I thought all the bad stuff about it. You can't be harsher critic to me than I am to myself. And I tended to treat people like that. So time to time I said some shit, and right now I would go back and apologize, but I cannot remember all those times. But in the last year, I had to apologize more times than you can imagine, and because I fucked up, because I was wrong, and not saying I'm sorry would be making even a bigger mistake. And I was raised to just admit that I am wrong, to see my wrongdoing, to apologize and move forward. Some people accepted my apology, some didn't, but I said that I'm sorry. And that's important for me, and I can move on with that. And I'm trying to avoid being a judgmental bitch all the time. I have no idea why I'm so pixelated today. I'm sure that there is a reason. And again, I screw up the setup or something like that. But yeah, when I sit still and I don't move, I'm quite in focus. When I talk, it starts to move around. I'm looking at the comments, that's why I'm quiet. Yes, and that's very, 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 very truth. And I was sure, you know, like we grow up through all our life, and I was sure that toxic people will be like obviously toxic, and you will see it right away. But it's not like that. It's not like that. the the worst ones will pretend for a really long time, and you know, I decided that pretending that I'm normal, pretending that I can cope with everything, uh, it's okay. We got like a glitch over there. So, you know, pretending that nothing happened, that everything is okay, and that I'm completely normal doesn't make sense, because you obviously can see if you meet me in person that I'm a little bit too energetic, I would say, and I'm often too much. And it's completely fine, because not everyone are my cup of tea as well. But since I let it all hang out, since I am completely myself, also on YouTube, in real life, in the personal contact, I think that I gained much more than I lost, because I know that I will lose some of the interactions, because some people will be pushed away by the way that I speak, by the way that I express myself, by the way that I am. And it's fine, because there will be also people who will see that I am what I am, and I am too much. I can be a little bit obnoxious. I am loud, like really loud. Um, and often I have really inappropriate jokes, and often I'm also awkward. but I'm openly awkward. I let it all hang out. And there are so many people that just need to see that the letting your freak like fly is a good thing. And we are all different, and it's cool. Mm. I don't think that any of my friends can say something that will hurt me. I mean, I will have like the conversation in depth on some point about it, but I process emotions a little bit different. So when I know that it comes from the good spot, I will get upset for 5 minutes and then it will pass, and I will rethink my actions and usually admit that the person who said something coming out from the good place was right. And that's true. It's true because I was really, really always trying to like fit in, but I wasn't made to fit in. I just don't. And it's okay. And it's okay to not fit in. And with those chats that we have here, I think that it's important to let it out to internet, to everyone, that it's okay to not fit in, that it's okay to not fit in any box, because maybe you are meant to build up your own box, not to fit to someone else's box. And though we are very, very much different, we can still really together do amazing stuff. Because, uh, you know, from people in the chat, for example, I really like to talk and hang out with Christiana, with Lien, and they are not so like all the time. I mean, Lien, this surprised me with being a dolphin on one of our live streams, but they are more calm, and definitely, I'm the I would be the loudest in every group, because right now we are like on 5% of my regular volume. But they still hang out with me, and we always have a good time, and we can bring each other up instead of pushing each other down. And I'm pretty sure that often it happens that I will say or do something, or when I'm completely like people want to just be like, just sit down, just shut up for 5 minutes. And when we are friends and you will tell me to shut up for the 5 minutes, I will not get offended, because sometimes I actually could shut up for 5 minutes or even 10. Yes, and that's true as well. There is all sorts of crazy, and my crazy didn't have to match your crazy, but it often does. It often does. And while I'm talking with people, especially in groups for, I call them groups for crazy people. I know it sounds horrible because you know calling people with mental issues crazy would be a faux pas. But I'm one of them, and I'm crazy as well. Like like really sometimes things that I think about, or the things that I do, or the ways that I cope with stuff are really crazy, like really mental. But talking with them, often we can connect on so many levels, especially that in our industry, we have a lot of people with different kind of mental issues, problems that are disturbed in the multiple ways. And, just like hearing that somebody else also have the things in the brain. They also have the constant busy. Uh, oh my God! If you can hear the rocket, that's my husband's computer. I have no idea why it does make a weird sound. But yeah, when I started to be more open and talk with people how it is to have that distortion, to be ADHD, how it is to not be able to do a simple task, because there are days when I cannot stand in the line in the shop, and without going to shop I will not have food, for example. And there are days when I'm not able to deal with people at all because I'm too much. And speaking about it and saying it aloud, that you're fucked up, but it's okay. It's okay. Today you can't do it, but probably tomorrow you can. And instead of doing some simple stuff, you can do some awesome shit that nobody else can do. Because with all those disadvantages, there are also coming some advantages. Like the world is not cut up to not for people who don't fit in the box. In school, I struggle a lot, and I thought that I'm dumb. And it turns that I'm not dumb. I wasn't served the knowledge, the material wasn't just adjusted to my brain, because I can understand it, and I can memorize stuff. And we have in Poland we have the book. It's called Mr. Uh, Tadeusz. I don't know how to translate it in Polish for English. I'm pretty sure that it haven't been translated because it's very specific way that it's written. And as much as I sucked at school, I memorized that book completely at some stage, and I could quote it. And it's big book. So that was the advantage of the fun thing with my brain. It just stuck. Some stuff just stick in. Right now I'm working on the way how to make things intentionally stick in my brain, because I cannot memorize simple stuff while I remember some complicated bullshit or really are irrelevant and completely not important information that nobody ever will need. But well, that's the way I am, and I really like myself since I started to be really honest and to talk with people and open to strangers. As scary it was, now I feel really happy, and I feel much better with myself and with everything around me, because it turns that if you tell people what's wrong with you, and that there is something wrong with you, a lot of them will be willing to work around it. And we all have flaws and advantages, so often stuff that you can bring to the table are more than those disadvantages, and a lot of people will be willing to work around it. And it really like changed everything for me, because I have no idea what I would do in pandemic without my support group, without my friends. I really have no idea how I would cope with the situation, because first time in my life I had anxiety problems, and it was really hard to cope. And I'm coping basically only thanks to the community that we have, thanks to those conversations, thanks to those hangouts together. And that's the only reason why I survived all that bullshit. And yeah, so oh, hello. Oh, hi, Bella. You didn't, I mean, you did miss a lot of me talking about stuff, but you already knew about those things. Because actually, it's funny thing that Belinda entered in that moment of the conversation. Belinda was one of the first people that when we met, I was incredibly honest and brave. And, you know, before I, like I told you, I thought that my condition is my biggest flaw and I should hide it. I shouldn't share it with people. But Bella has something to herself. And, you know, I just, she was one of the first people that I told that I had it and that it makes my life hard. And guess what? I expected that, you know, from really cool hangout on the first meeting, when I will share something like that on the second meeting and she will get to know me, she will be like, oh no, my God, I can't deal with that, because she's so organized. But she did surprise me because we are still friends. So I'm really fucked up for most of the time. But, you know, it didn't throw her away. It didn't, you know, like, from what I remember, she didn't even comment on that. She was like, okay. And, you know, I was so shocked because she wasn't like shocked. She didn't put any comment on that. And, you know, she was always there for me, to help me in the in some situations, though probably she would deal with them differently than I. But she's one of those people who, you know, when we have this situation like hold my beer, she will tell me like, you know what, I think you are doing a mistake, maybe let's regroup and let's think about it together. Because that let me know that probably I'm just, you know, like digging my own grave and I should just think about stuff for a second. Because when I think about stuff, I am able to come up with some intelligent conclusions. It's just my first thing would be jump my head first. And it's good to have people who like will stop me from jumping head first. They will be like, yeah, you know, let's talk about it and just then do it. So it's funny thing that you entered in that moment, but I think it's your sixth sense, and I'm really pixelated today. Okay, I'm scrolling to see the comments. I will put them on the screen so everyone can read it. I agree with absolutely all the comments that you are sharing. I'm looking at the time because I don't want to drag it too long, so you will not be too bored with me. Penny needs Penny needs another order on diapers. Oh, Penny always crack me up. Oh. Yeah, that's why. Okay, it's on my face. That's why I'm sharing, because I discovered that more I share, more people can connect. And, you know, for me, it was a big thing that somebody told me, because that's how it started. That somebody told me, like, no, you are not fucked up. You should just go to the doctor and check because, you know, we are very similar, and it might be that we share the same conditions. So just check that. And it was that easy. One phone call and one visit to a doctor, and one short conversation changed my life. And it changed my life, it changed Matt's life, it changed our whole family life. One open, honest conversation. And I was really on the edge when I had that conversation. I really couldn't, it was the point when I couldn't cope with myself. And somebody saw that I'm distressed. So I was able to mask it really well for a really long time. It was just somebody who looked at me and they were like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I first time in my life I said, "No, I'm not fucking okay. I'm everything but not okay." I and that moment changed my life. And if I can do the same thing for at least one person on the world, I would be happy. If because I will put it in the comments. I will put my playlist about how to, if you suspect that something is wrong with you, you can look for some symptoms of either ADHD or ADD. It's also very, very popular condition, because the diagnosis and talking with the professional and going that road can change your life forever. And but sorry, there is no cure. You will be not cured. It's just a matter of changing the perspective. I should disclose that on the beginning. There is no way that I will be completely okay, that one day I will wake up and I will put the shirt and the tie and I will be able to do the office work or be very serious and responsible person or adult. No, I will be never adult. I will never, never grow up. Unfortunately, there is no cure, but there are ways to cope with that. And, like, like um, having people that I can be openly myself, even when I feel that I'm too much for myself. And, it's like, I know that sometimes it's difficult. That's why I really appreciate everyone who wants to hang out with me, especially when I'm too much. Um, okay. Challenging, how nicely put it. I have challenging friends. I can be a big challenge. Now I know that I should not be ashamed, but it was just my way of coping with stuff, because that's the part that I really like about myself, that I process emotions completely different. So I'm able to just mm, approach stuff completely non-emotionally. They will not make me upset at all. And I was processing through that. I was like filtering everything through that to not show up too much weak points, because maybe shame, it's a wrong word. I just didn't want to give people the chance to put the weapon in the hands of the people that could be used against me. Like, um, I can I can say that I'm crazy because I am, and I can say that I'm mental, and other mental person can tell me that I'm mental. But if a completely healthy and normal uh, person who do not struggle mentally at all will tell me that I'm mental, I will be really offended, and that can put me off the edge, and I can get angry. And when I get angry, I get unpleasant. I'm like Hulk. I'm always a little bit upset. So it, there are triggers that can put me off the edge. So I didn't want to expose that to people who would like to see me going upset, because then I will not have filter. And not having a filter means that you will say whatever you think in public without filtering that. So not maybe ashamed, but as the defense mechanism. Oh my God, I have no idea what to do with my French today. I will just let it be. So I just didn't want to give people the weapon, the advantage over me, because I'm already in disadvantage comparing to like 80%, maybe even 90% of society. I'm already in disadvantage. So I didn't want them to pick up on me, and with there are words that, like that thing with saying that you are crazy or you are mental, because it's some completely other thing to say I'm crazy, like, oh my God, she's so crazy, when you mean that somebody is just crazy, not in the way that they have something wrong with their head. You mean that they just have a lot of unexpected and unpredictable ideas. But if you mean it in a really like mental issue way, that somebody is crazy or mental and you are not, it would be really offensive. Like, with some of my friends, I have no problems with calling them like, "What's up, bitch?" And they call me like that as well. But if the random person on the street will tell me that I'm a bitch, I will get upset. So yeah, I just thought that if I will keep my wall up, that everything will be fine. But actually putting those walls down, it's something that gave me an incredible strength, and not hiding it, wearing it bravely out, not only makes me stronger, makes me cope better, it also lets people know that sometimes I can do something that it's like, huh? But then they know why I do things that are like, huh? They know that it's not malicious, it's not on purpose, that sometimes it's just the thing that I see differently than them. And letting that out helps a lot with the human contact and regular life and crafty stuff as well, because I can be creative, and I have the phase when I'm not creative because I cannot focus on one thing. So I have 10,000 projects going on in the background. None of them is even close to be finished, but I'm thinking that I will start a new one today. Yes, so in general, in the topic of, oh yes, of course I need glasses. I think it's already a year. I had the prescription. I just forget to get them done. And it's not like forget, it just slipped through the cracks. But one day I will be upset enough about not seeing stuff to go and get the glasses. And oh my God, no, I have no idea where I put mine. I have, guys, I swear, before we started the chat and before my I was reading book here and putting the notes. So I had my glasses over here and they're gone. I have no idea where. That's very, very true. Because, I think that a lot of shaming that we put on out there holds people back. Because, it, I'm not ashamed. They're like, I don't feel shame for the stuff that I do or say. You can say that often I'm shameless. I can go out being myself with fake lashes and fake wig and fake hair and like full makeup done. So I'm myself when I'm covered with plastic, but I feel myself then. I can go without it as well and also be completely myself, tell people to fuck off in the middle of the street. I have no problem of screaming like, fuck! And I don't care. It will not put me in the shame that somebody's staring at me. The only times when I felt shame was being ashamed of basically hanging out with toxic people that we talked about earlier, and that should be a signal a long time before I did that something is wrong, because only time when I feel awkward in the company is being a front shame, the shame for somebody else's behaviors, the behaviors that I do not accept. Because the only thing that didn't change is me standing up for complete freedom and equality. Everyone should be allowed to be themselves, however they want to be themselves. If that not brings any harm to anyone else, then they should be allowed to be themselves, hang out, do whatever they want, look however they want, love whoever they want. And if it doesn't harm anyone else, then there is nothing wrong with that, in my opinion and in my book. And and I would stand up even for the people that I don't know on the street just because somebody judged them just based on their looks or behaviors, or except of don't pick on my friends, because funny enough, most of my friends are quite shy and polite people. You would not say that, but by watching at least one of those fucking banters, you would not say that anyone who is decent, proper, nice, and well spoken or polite would hang out with me. But you would be surprised. Most of my friends are exactly like that. They are well behaved, well spoken, really nice people. And if you are like that, then a lot of not nice people like to take advantage of you. So if I would be witnessing somebody saying something to my friend that from some kind of reason do not stand up on themselves, I would be the one to stand in front and be like, hey, you know what, maybe fuck off, because you just said something hurtful to my friend, and I don't, yeah, she's too shy or too polite to tell you that you should shut the fuck up and just mind your own business. And I have no problem with doing that. And I will never hold back in the situations when I witness that somebody is hurting my friend, somebody that I care about, because I don't care, then I don't care. But if I care a lot. And that's the thing that I cannot change. So basically, like, the reaffirmation of today would be like, if you anything like me, just choose wisely who and what you care about, because that will make a huge difference. Thinking through, who do you want to care about, who do you want to stand for, and what do you want to stand for. Oh my God, I really, I read your comments and you would not say that they are so heartwarming, because again, my face will not show the emotion, will not show that I'm touched, but I really am, because it's important that we will create a safe space for each other, because as the community, as all together, we can be really, really strong, because we will have people who are really emotional and they can bring a lot to the table, because I leak emotions. So having people who are more emotional than I around me makes me more aware about some stuff. And people like me can be in the front line to tell everyone else to fuck off, basically. And we all bring a different mix of stuff to the table. And even if shit goes wrong, you know, they the shit can happen to anyone, and it doesn't matter what kind of shit happens to you, but you can either just lay and cry about all the shit that happens to you. You can also go to random ranting internet like I do. It feels very good. But shit happens, we just have to cope with that. And less shit will happen to you, more coping mechanisms you will develop. I did work really hard on myself, and with the help of my friends, I'm able to cope with basically any shit that can happen to me. And I'm really proud of the fact that I'm able to deal with any kind of shit and bullshit in my life. I don't do it on my own. I have a whole bunch of people to be thankful for and to for making me stronger, making me a better person, changing my point of view. And and that's really important part of that community for me, the constant support, and that we all can belong here, even if we are very, very different, even if we do not agree in all matters. But if you are here, that means that you are some kind of creative soul, and that's the common thing, that we can go over all those differences together if we will focus on the stuff that bring us together, not tear us apart. Okay, so that's our 1 hour. I feel very brave for sharing that today. And I really wanted to do it in a different way, but shit happens all the time, and I'm not able to pull off completely the idea that I had. And I don't want to hold it back any longer, because it's over a year that I'm trying to bring myself to do something like that, to encourage other weirdos to let it all hang out. Okay, so now I will close the chat, and next week probably we'll go back to the topic either of finding your inner voice, or defeating your inner saboteur, because there is a lot of comments on those videos. There is a lot of requests of talking a little bit more about that, and I already discussed with all people involved in those streams that they would be up for another one. So yeah, next week we will come back to answering the questions and tackling the topics of more creative matters. But that's the big part of creative life for me as well. And yeah, thank you for coming, and see you all very, very soon. And yeah, and check out this weekend. We will have a Saturday club hopping, and 2 weeks ago or last week, oh my god, 2 weeks ago, we had the anniversary hop. It was amazing. So we took some feedback from the chat and made some changes. So this weekend is a hopping weekend, and tomorrow I will put up a really cool video on the channel as well. So, and if you are a Polish viewer, then definitely check out YouTube tomorrow at 10 a.m. because cool stuff will happen. Okay, so that's all. See you all very, very soon. Hopefully 2 days from now, like basically on Saturday. So it's like what? Basically tomorrow, you know, if we will take those couple hours, because it's almost 10 p.m., then see you basically tomorrow. And I will put up in the description box the full lineup. I'm sure that we are starting at 5 p.m. at Peculiar's channel. So yeah, see you all there. Okay, where is my graphic for the end? Oh, here it is. Okay, a mad love to all of you. If you will have any questions, just put them in the comments. It looks like I'm not aware of getting comments, but I am. I'm just too distracted, and I have too many like, oh, rhinestones moments to reply to all of them. But all the ones with the questions or issues, I either reach out or screenshot for another banter, so they don't get lost in the internet. Thank you and have a good night.